Greetings, Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand. Here's a very interesting question. I read lots of this stuff online and I'll give you a good reply to this one. There's an emerging conversation that Candida occurs not as a result of too much sugar in our diet, but as a result of overconsumption of fats combined with sugar. Is this true? So many people believe that if you eat a lot of fat, or you're a very fat person, that's what causes Candida and not actually eating sugar itself. So let's examine this in a little bit more detail, right? The reason why people get fat in the first place is because of lifestyle. Usually they eat the wrong kind of food, they don't exercise, and they're highly stressed. Okay, I've done many videos on this previous. So people who become highly stressed have increased cortisol levels. Those increased cortisol levels really muck up their insulin sensitivity. It suppresses immune function and also drives them to want to eat more sugar, salt, and fat. So cortisol, when it pushes up, pushes the body into a survival mode. It locks the fat down around the torso because it thinks the person is in an alarm phase of stress. They're going to go through a period where they're going to not be able to access food. Fat is locked down on the body, so the body can burn off the fat as energy later on down the track. So if you didn't get stressed out in the first place, and you didn't make the wrong judgment call when it came to eating and drinking, you probably wouldn't get fat in the first place. Fat does not cause Candida. Fat people are often, not always, but often a result of a poor quality lifestyle and diet combined. Highly stressed people, crappy jobs, crappy relationships, crappy incomes, crappy living, sometimes their own fault. In some cases, it's not their fault. It's circumstantial, due to, things beyond their control. So people who get big can get skinny again. But the bigger the person is, the harder it is, obviously, for them, to lose weight. But I've worked with, I would say, several thousand people over the years that have successfully lost hundreds of pounds in weight. Some of these people have gone through life transformations. And in many cases, they've remarried or they've got new occupations. They've become much happier as a result and have been able to keep the weight off for that reason. Many people who are big people are unhappy people. And unhappy people don't really care so much for what they eat anymore, because a small amount of sugar or food they take, it's almost like a drug, gives them a temporary high. So I really don't believe that Candida occurs as a result of too much fat. I think too much fat occurs as a result of a faulty lifestyle. And then that fat can absolutely, without doubt, cause problems with insulin. It can create insulin resistance and allow sugar to maintain longer in the bloodstream, and this in turn can create a lot of problems for that person. They can end up with type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome. They're going to get liver dysfunction. They're going to get non-alcoholic fatty liver, which makes them even fatter. They're going to get more fatigued due to the buildup of toxins in their bloodstream. They're going to get sore muscles. Their joints are going to hurt. They're going to get, of course, then emotionally depressed. And what do depressed people do? They go for a bag of chips. They go for a Hershey bar. They go for a pizza from Domino's and a couple of DVDs to watch because they're pissed off, they're depressed. And they're in this downward spiral. And often people like that attract other people like that, and they support each other's fatness and unhealthiness. They don't often hang around people that are running around outside with a mobile phone strapped to their arm, jogging. They rather sit on the couch. I don't feel sorry for a lot of people who are overweight. But I do feel sorry for the fact that they can't often get motivated and get up and do things. So anyway, coming back to the conversation, what are we going to do in this situation when we've got a person who believes that Candida occurs as a result of fatness? It doesn't. There are many, many large people who don't have a yeast infection. Okay, I've seen this as well too. So not all large people have got an insulin problem. It very much also depends on your diet. But you can do different tests on yourself. For example, you can check for ketosis to see if you're burning fat for energy. That's one way that you can navigate your way out of this. But yeah, I don't think it's a correct assumption to make there at all that it occurs due to the overconsumption of fats. And remember, fat consumption doesn't make people fat. It's usually the carbohydrates that make people fat in the first place. So for what it's worth, that's my side of the story. I don't think it's true. And I think most large people can lose weight and end up with no yeast infection at all. It really depends on their ability to want to motivate themselves to do that. Thanks for tuning in.